Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is our fourth video on running a country is not rocket science. Um, One only understands that particular perception if you've got a wide range of knowledge and research, etc. Integratively, holistically. If you have a compartmentalized knowledge, it's not easy to see the whole picture. So what I did was I decided in 1980s. I decided to major in classical Arabic, which is Quranic Arabic, and Islamic studies, which is the tafsir of Quran and the science of Hadith, etc. History of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Arabic poetry, all of that kind of stuff. And then I decided if I want to guide people, I must know how the economics work, how capitalism works. So I majored in economics at the same time, those two together, and that was a beautiful decision because I will then know how to plan because I got a big understanding of how the economy works and basically what the advice is within the divine kind of guidance, and then basically I can create a solution, inshallah. That's it. Because I said if I want to guide people, I must know how capitalist thinks. Now let's go to me saying that we need to give free electricity, free water, etc. And then people will ask the question, but where are we going to get the money to pay for those things? One of the key things about dropping the cost of electricity and water, or even giving it free or nationalizing that, is that you allow what we call in economics a wider, a greater amount of disposable income. In other words, what people can use to buy. Now, if people pay less for electricity and water, they can buy more products. The moment they can buy more products, more businesses will have to be created in order to produce those products. And then by buying more, there's more profit, and there's obviously more tax that is coming into the government, etc. And more companies are coming on board, because there's no electricity and water payments, etc. So they can produce better, they can produce at lower costs as well, and they can supply more people. And there's only X amount of people, so now you have enough to actually export, and so you get income from other countries as well. So dropping the cost, the municipal costs or the utilities costs, you rise the production level of the country, and then more people will be employed because there's more products. But if you raise the cost of utilities, people have less money to actually buy things, and so obviously you'll have more companies going bust because you can't buy, and secondly, you have more people that will go unemployed. So it doesn't make sense that you don't charge people for basic things that they need. Effectively, in real terms, people that are in the country, they own the resources. They actually own the gold. They actually own the oil. They actually own the diamonds. They are the owners, not the people who govern it. And so the governors must make sure that the people get the better features of that in order to build that community. But if you're selfish and you're a capitalist and you're like an exploiter, you don't think that way because your mind is like trapped. You're in a trapped particular situation. That's why you actually pray. You ask the Creator to grant you a wideness and not a narrowness. Because people that are narrow, they become weird. You know what I'm saying? And everything is the enemy, and everything is a threat. They live in a world of their own, which is so constricted that they can't even think past their noses. So if one opens up that particular feeling in terms of reduce the municipal costs, increase the particular potential for disposable income, increase the amount of people that can buy, you increase the quality of the life of people, because now they what they call the disposable income and the income of each person becomes more, and so there's more savings for that. And from the more savings you get, the banks can start more businesses with that particular money that they are giving to people, and much more money is then circulated within the economy. People become confident, have less problems because they can afford things, they can buy things, and so the crime rate drops, the health increases of the people because they're not so much stress. So the general kind of benefit about about just dropping the essential costs and giving that free, you open up amazing door. So, okay, not many people do economics. Okay, so I know why, it's because it's quite difficult. You know what I'm saying? So I did all the difficult subjects that people don't want to do. And that allows you to become more what's called marketable, because now you know you've got certain knowledge which other people are shying away from. And the moment people shy away from it to other things, you have an oversupply of that particular skill, but you've got an undersupply of something else. So, and having considered the spiritual with the actual material, understanding those things, it's easier to create a solution. Alhamdulillah. So most of my work is solution based. It's not argumentative. It's not kind of moaning all the time. It's about, this is the issue, there's the problem, there's a solution. Okay. So the creativity of the people becomes more, because they got more access to finance, they can develop more, and so the whole country develops on a exceptional level, at the artistic level, the design level, everything it happens. And now, because that happens, you find more tourists want to come to the country, because now they want to see how this country has developed. But if there's nothing to look at, less people will come, the crime will be high, etc., etc. So you want to drop the crime rate, you want to increase the health of people, drop the stresses of the people. And if you want to drop the stresses of people, take away the needed features of cost, like the electricity, the water, the rates, the sanitation, cut it out, make it free. And then they've got more disposable income in order to do what they would like to do. So the core feature of and that's not rocket science. It just happens. I mean, if it just happens, that if your necessary features that are dropped, you get more kind of income that you can actually spend on other things. Now what happens at the moment is you're rich. In actual fact, they accumulate all the money, but where do they spend it? They spend it outside the country. They go tour and they go travel, etc. Because you can only spend so much on yourself. You can't spend much. And then what happens to the rest of the money that they make? People steal it. Millions and billions are being stolen. So if people ask, can a country afford, giving electricity and water free? Yes, you can, because if you look at all the money that has been stolen, that could have paid for a lot of things. So, inshallah, I'm over my 7 minutes. In actual fact, I went much over that. So, assalamu alaikum, shukran to you, assalamu alaikum.